The average person spends 3 to 5 hours a day on mobile devices for entertainment. However, to make your entertainment portable, you sacrifice picture size, sound quality, and more. Everyone makes this compromise, but we shouldn't have to. That's where Capsule comes in. Introducing Capsule by Nebula, the world's most advanced pocket cinema. A soda can-sized Pico projector with remarkable picture and sound. When we started, building a powerful speaker into such a small device without compromising the picture seemed like an impossible challenge. So we had to get creative. We proactively built in a 360-degree speaker with enhanced bass and boosted treble, and cut 9,000 holes in the speaker grill to make Capsule the world's first Pico projector with omnidirectional sound. But we didn't just want it to be small and loud, we wanted to make it really smart. Traditionally, so-called smart projectors come with TV chipsets, which makes them big and laggy. We integrated the most advanced smartphone chipset ever used in a Pico projector into Capsule, making it the smartest projector the world has ever seen. Capsule is the first projector ever equipped with Android 7 OS. You can seamlessly watch Netflix, YouTube, and any other streaming app directly. Plus, Capsule can wirelessly mirror content from virtually any mobile device to display it up to 100 inches big. Powered by Anker's advanced battery technology, Capsule delivers up to 2.5 hours of continuous video, or 40 hours of non-stop music on a single charge. Plug in a power bank and get all-day entertainment anywhere. Capsule, the world's most advanced pocket cinema.